The ghoulish woman was frightened when she presented her with an estimate of the damages. She's howling mad and is suing her here and now for the $450 she's owed. This is the defendant, Frances Price. She says she needed a safety pin for her kitty cat costume and pulled into a parking spot in the store lot. The plaintiff then pulled into the spot next to her, and her door tapped the plaintiff's car, and World War III broke out. The woman started ranting and raving and is now demanding $450. Come on. There was no mark on the car, and this case is simply an attempt at a shakedown. She's accused of banging it, but good.
All parties, please, with your right hand.
What were you dressed as?
I was a kitten.
What were you dressed as?
Pocahontas.
What was everybody else dressed as?
The plaintiff says she was going to a Halloween party when the defendant swung her door open and hit her car. But the defendant says it was a tap, and the plaintiff is an insane woman. It's the case of, hey, pumpkin, I'm suing you.
Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Angela, you've asked us not to mention your last name. You're suing Frances Price for $450, the amount that you say you will have to pay in order to repair some damage she did to your car. What happened?
Well, a group of us, she's a mutual friend of two friends, Nicole and Debbie. Nicole invited a group of us to a Halloween party. We all met up, drove off to the Halloween party. Nicole was in the lead car. I was in the second car. Debbie was in the third car. She was in the back seat of Debbie's car. Driving on the highway, Nicole pulled off the highway. I pulled off the highway into a gas station. Nicole parked. I parked next to Nicole, and Debbie parked next to me. When I rolled down my window to ask Nicole why she stopped, I hear bam. I look over to the side. She had opened the rear passenger seat of Debbie's car and hit my car.
How close was Debbie's car to your car?
In a regular, I was in the line.
So what do you think she did? She pushed it to...
Yeah, she opened it too
like
far.
she wasn't careful?
Right.
And why were you getting out of the car?
I was getting out of the car so we can go into the store to buy safety pins to adjust our costumes.
What were you dressed as?
I was a kitten.
What were you dressed as?
Pocahontas.
What was everybody else dressed as? How many other... never mind. All right, so... Are the two people who are with you moral support, or were they witnesses?
My sister is a witness.
Okay, come on up, sister. What happened? Did you actually see it happen, or you saw the aftermath?
Yes, because I was in the passenger side of her car. I was in the passenger seat.
Okay.
And the door hit on my side where I was.
Okay. So what happened?
When she hit the door, was a loud thud. And she got out, and she was, very apologetic that, she hit the car. And we got out. My sister told her, well, take the door off, because she just left the door sitting on the car.
Meaning because it was wedged?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
that's what she had to. I had to say, close the door, close the door. And that's when she closed it.
Okay. Do you have pictures of the damage?
No. I have pictures.
Why not? Do you have a phone?
Yes,
Does
I
your phone
have
take
pictures, but they're not really good.
It's not just for nasty pictures. It's also for
pictures,
evidence.
But they're not really good.
What happened?
So we all going to this party. We pulled into this lot to go into a store to buy safety pins to adjust our costumes. I go to get out of the vehicle. The car door swung open. Tapped her car. Wasn't no gash or nothing like that. I couldn't even get out of the vehicle.
Well, then don't get out. I mean, if there's no room for you to open a door, don't open it, right?
I stayed in the vehicle. I told my cousin Debbie, thank you. You brassed my car, whatever. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tap your car. Everyone gets out the car. They get their phones. They looking at the no visual damage. We go ahead about the party and have a good time. When we get to the party, I apologize to her again. And we party. We go home. A week later, she sends me a text saying that I owe her $450. I asked her, well, how much of that $450 are you expecting me to pay? Oh, I'm confused. I'm expecting to pay 100% of it.
Well, did you say at the scene that you would pay it?
I'm sorry?
Did you say at the scene, I'll pay for the damage?
No, I did not.
According to you both, she did, right?
Yes.
She was dressed as a kitty. Now, will the defendant have to feed the kitty to the tune of $450? Judge Million rules next.
I had loaned him $2,000.
The defendant actually said, I'll pay for the damage. At the scene, is that a confession?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Because he can change his mind when he goes to court.
She.
Or she can change her mind when she goes to court.
Well, okay, but can she change her mind? I mean, she's spontaneously saying, I'll pay for the damage. Isn't that like a confession?
It seems to me like it is. I know that I was always told never to say anything if something like that happens and wait until later.
Okay, that's a really smart point. Confession or not confession? What do you think?
I think it's not legal.
Oh, God. All of a sudden, he's turning into like Tom Cruise. He doesn't want to be seen. Going inside the courtroom.
I know that damage is hard to see. I mean, you're not my first rodeo. But I need you to come over here and point out to me what it is I should be looking at. So you go right here.
It's kind of in this area.
No, I need you to tell me where it is. I need you to actually zoom in. No, if you don't know where it is, that's a problem.
It's right here. You can see, I guess, part of like where the white mark is.
Okay,
it's like
that's a white mark, and that's a white mark, and that's a white mark, and that's a white mark.
It's right here. Because it's wedged.
Point exactly to where it is. And did it? So how many inches is it, or inches is it?
I got it fixed. I got it fixed like 2 weeks later.
Oh,
because
did you?
because
do you have proof that you paid that payment?
Because she was apologetic and she said, just let me know how much it is and I'll take care of it.
Okay. And it cost you $450.
Right.
To get it fixed. And your problem with paying that is what?
You paid $450 for what? The tap
No,
on your
don't talk to her
door?
directly. Go ahead, talk to me.
We go to the party.
What is it? No, I don't want to hear about
But
the party.
listen,
What is your defense? No, you listen. Listen to my question. What's your
Okay.
defense? It's too much money for
I don't
you,
owe her the
or
money.
it's
I
not?
don't owe her the money. She's trying to get her bumper fixed
But
or
her
whatever.
bumper fixed.
Her
This
bumper
is-
was
I'm
tore
looking
up.
at the
Her
paperwork.
bumper was tore up a few days beforehand. She was telling everyone how someone ripped off the bumper of her car and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I don't have anything.
Listen to me. I am looking at the estimate, the work that was done, and it was $450 to fix the dent. So what's your defense? That you didn't know dents could cost $450? It can happen. So,
I didn't dent her car. No one saw it. We didn't see any dents.
so she paid $450 for nothing? She just for the sport and the fun of bringing you to court, she went and got her car repaired. And I see the text between you and her where you're saying, well, how much of that do you expect me to pay?
Right.
If there was nothing there, you wouldn't be saying that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I didn't know. I was. Listen, I was confused myself. $450. I'm like.
So it's really, you don't feel like paying that much. It's not a
I
defense.
don't want to pay
I don't want to pay
anything.
that much.
I don't
But you can't lie to me and say there's zero damage because you're texting to her, how much of that do you think I should pay? How much are you asking me to pay? It's because you don't like the number. If it had been $50, would we be here? Or would you just have paid her the $50?
No, I wouldn't have paid her no $50 because I
Oh, you're
didn't do
such a
anything to
liar.
her
You would have
car.
paid her the $50. We wouldn't be here if it was that. You just don't like the amount. Well, next time, be more careful when you swing your door. I mean, you're the person who swung the door. It caused her to have a $450 repair. What am I missing? What am I missing? And then you're friends with her. Is it your cousin?
Deborah is my cousin, and Nicole is
Where's
my
Deborah
friend.
fall on all this? What does Deborah say?
She was a pastor. Because she started avoiding my calls. So Debbie was trying to get her to call me.
So is Debbie
and
mad
work
at her? Are you still friends with Debbie, or she wants to
that's
stay
not,
out?
No, me and Debbie are not mad at each other. I ignored your calls because you was harassing me, calling me from
Well,
6 in the
well,
calling
yeah,
me
because
from
you're not
6 in the
paying her. I
morning.
love when I hear that. It's harassment. But no, it only became harassment because she had to keep calling me to pay her the first time. She wouldn't have called the second time.
Because I told Debbie to speak with her. I didn't do anything. I thought I didn't do anything to her car.
Then why are you saying how much of it do you expect me to pay?
Because she texted
And
me
according to people
$450.
saying I'll pay for it.
I didn't tell you I was going to pay for anything.
Oh, well, both of them say you did. Do you have any witnesses who say no, that you didn't hit the car? I mean, if you hit the car, I don't care whether you said you'd pay for it or not. If you hit the car, you have to pay for what she's out. That's how it works, but it makes such perfect logical sense. I don't know why I have to explain it to you. If your defense is, well, that's too much, you can get that done by Dent Wizard for $120, then I would listen to your defense. But you're literally standing here telling me there's no damage to the car. I never say, it's like whatever you can say to just not have to pay. My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $450.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the judge says to the defendant, that's no defense.
I'm glad this is over with. I hope I never see her again. And that's that.
Yeah, that's no defense, though. Where was the defense? Why didn't you take pictures of the no damage if there was no damage?
Because I couldn't get out of the vehicle. Everyone else was looking at the vehicle, and we didn't see any visual anything at the time.
You weren't trapped in there for days and days. You eventually got out, right?
Right.
Well, why didn't you take pictures to prove that there was no damage?
I didn't, because I don't know.
Ah, you know, that's the move. Without that evidence, what do you got?
I guess.
All right.
All right, step on in here. What are you smiling about?
Because I won.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
Pictures?
her costume was a kitten. It should have been a ghost because she disappeared when I tried to get my money.
Yeah, what about this party now? You were a ghoul? Who was a ghoul?
A skeleton.
Skeleton? What were you?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. And what about you? What were you?
I wasn't invited.